results, and I'm going to have to turn on you here so I can look and see them for myself. Very dangerous game wins, 47%. Vols by 2 touchdowns, 35%. What was the other one, 18% there?
18%. Yeah.
18% for those of you who think, it'll be close, but Vols win. All right, so very dangerous game. It's not a majority, but it's not over 50%, but you get the gist. What do they call that? It's
Plurality?
Plurality,
Yeah.
There you go. You see, that's why Ryan Callahan is here. That's why he's with me. All right, the Vols fall to number 7 in the 24/7 rankings. There you see it. And, of course, Ryan covers recruiting with GoVols 24/7, so this is your mother publication here that has Tennessee dropping to number 7. The reason they dropped to number 7 is they lost a commitment from a lineman in Nevada. Fill us in.
Yeah, well, they actually were number 7 even before that because of some other teams that had moved up.
This is a little thing, but never correct me on my Go ahead.
But yeah, so Tennessee already had been passed by some other teams. They haven't added a commitment in more than a month.
Yep.
That's a little bit of time for some other teams to make some progress. But they did lose Douglas Utu, top 100 prospect nationally, 4-star offensive lineman from Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman High School. There had been some signs he had been looking around. He went to USC for a game a couple weeks before, also went to USC season opener against LSU right there in Las Vegas. So he had looked at USC. That one didn't seem to go anywhere. And then Oregon makes a big push. We saw Tennessee steal Desan Brame away from Oregon. Oregon comes back and takes away Douglas Utu. So clearly Oregon, they've had a good class so far. Not a deep class, but the players they have some real quality. When they've set their sights on someone this year, they've been tough to beat. So not shocking that they're the team that was able to pull off this flip, but one that hurts for Tennessee because Utu, I think, was a guy that could have played early, and offensive line's a big need for the Vols in this class.
I'm going to assume this has a lot to do with Phil Knight's Nike money and NIL. So my question then is this one over, or can you get in a bidding war with Oregon/Nike?
I think it's always hard to assume that Oregon's going to back down in any battle these days. I think there's no reason right now to think Tennessee has a great shot at flipping Utu. Now, will they still have some communication? Maybe there's a relationship there. Sure, anything can happen, but I'd say the odds of a flip here or Tennessee getting back in it pretty slim.
Who else is on Tennessee's list right now in terms of top prospects that they're still chasing?
Yeah, still looking at a few positions they would like to address. Running back, they're still looking at DeJuan Morris in-state, a USC commitment out of Murfreesboro. So still working on getting him on campus, but if they can get him on campus, he's a realistic option maybe. A big-time defensive lineman, Isaiah Campbell, that just decommitted from Clemson less than 2 weeks ago. He's scheduled to take an official visit to Tennessee in a few weeks. Top 50 player nationally. That would be a big deal if Tennessee can get him, and they're very well positioned there. And then still looking for a linebacker. Few possibilities out there. Jaden Perlotti, a USC commitment. Austin Howard out of the Memphis area, a Mississippi State commitment. And maybe Brendan Ains, a Wisconsin commitment out of the mid-state. So a few guys are looking at as they look to add another linebacker potentially to this class.
I don't follow the recruiting rankings constantly, obviously. I thought that they'd dropped to 7 because of that. It's been a while since I've looked. No offense, but there are millions of fans who do watch that. That's why you've got the rankings up there. Those are the composite rankings, by the way. So for those people who are sitting there going, oh my gosh, we've got to be above 7, what's more likely for this signing class when all's said and done? Tennessee rises above 7th and gets higher. Tennessee falls below 7th and goes lower.
It's a tough call because it really does. I mean, with so few names out there on the board, so few positions to address, there's a chance Tennessee only adds maybe one more player. But if they get a guy like Isaiah Campbell, and again, that looks like a real possibility right now, a top 50 defensive lineman nationally, or player nationally on the defensive line, that's the kind of addition that would maybe give Tennessee a chance to move up. So I'll lean slightly toward moving up that and rankings upgrades. They've got some guys who can move up in the rankings that also could help that final team ranking.
Ryan, I always appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much. When we come back, most folks were against conference realignment. I know I was. I didn't like the loss of tradition, didn't like the loss of regional matchups. But I'm kind of enjoying some of these national matchups that are out of the ordinary. Was realignment as bad as we thought? Come on back on the Sports Source.